All right, Russ, we're at Mobile World Congress. We've been here the last 4 days. It's been amazing. Before the show, we talked about several things. Let's start with 5G. I mean, it's been crazy. What have you seen here at 5G Mobile World Congress?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we were wondering about is if the confusion about 5G would be cleared up a little bit, in the sense of not all 5G is created equally, and two networks that are 5G could behave very, very differently. Well, I have not seen that cleared up at all. And as a matter of fact, I'm finding a little more confusion with 5G, in the sense that some people, when they think of 5G, they are thinking specifically 5G radio network, 5G core network, and it's just kind of a pure 5G. Other people, when they're talking about 5G, are talking about a 5G world that is also business transformation and artificial intelligence and Mac and so forth. So I think people are looking for 5G for a lot. They're referring to a lot when they say 5G, and there's a bit of confusion around it.
Still confused, yeah. One of the things I've seen, you mentioned Mac, I've seen some interesting things on edge computing. I've been leading the IoT tour, and yet nearly every stop is talking about edge computing, which is kind of funny. But we've seen edge computing as small as a Raspberry Pi, as large as or then pizza box, a whole rack full of pizza boxes, and then we saw this huge thing at Vapor, at ARM, called Vapor Edge, and it's like the size of a small SUV, and they call that edge computing. So, it just spans the gamut from super small edge to huge edge.
Well, and that kind of goes to the question of where is the edge, right?
Right.
This edge could fit in a lot of different
Exactly.
places.
I've even heard people call it the far edge. Like the cloud is no longer called the cloud, it's called the far edge. So clearly the edge is overhyped at the moment. We'll see the exact value that it brings. It clearly does provide value, but I think it's important to realize why we're doing it and not just do it because it's the hype.
So did you see any great examples of edge computing, like applications for edge computing?
Right, there were a couple. So one of the things that came up is, let's say I'm a business and I don't want all that data to go into the cloud. Instead, I want to process it locally, whether that be visualization on surveillance, recognizing faces, shoplifters, etc. And there was a couple of other examples like that, more around diminishing the network connectivity and keeping my information private. And then clearly people were talking about latency, but no one really showed anything specifically about latency. Like we had talked about, right? With virtual reality, you want that motion to photon to be less than 20 milliseconds, and 5G plus edge computing, whether it be multi-access edge computing or generic edge computing, is going to be key in making that a reality.
Very good. As you spoke about latency, did you notice how many robotic arms there are around here?
It's amazing, yeah. Robotic arms, painting.
Yeah. Although I did see a study from Ericsson, and that's going to come out in April, I think. But they surveyed 30,000 normal people, not people connected with the industry, and they asked them what types of applications are the most valuable, what would you be willing to pay, and so forth. And robotic control was of low interest and low desire to pay.
Wow,
for something like
and
that.
yet we saw it everywhere.
We see it
here.
everywhere.
That's funny.
There were a number of people showing bands that were
live bands.
Yeah, live bands. Half the band in one booth, half the band in another booth.
That was fun. I saw
low enough latency that they were able to keep the music together.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Russ. Been fun again.
Yeah, don't you want to know anything about artificial intelligence?
No, not at all.
There was a lot of talk about AI, and one thing that I could say is just a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy here, a lot of people looking forward to some great things. I saw a great panel discussion where they said it's the world's youngest, or the youngest panel that's ever been on the stage, the keynote stage here at Mobile World Congress. And these kids were 11 years, 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds. They're all CEOs of their companies, and they're trying to make a difference in the world.
Yeah, and making clarity, right? Bringing clarity to why I want to do something, how that's going to make an impact, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages.
Yeah.
Because there's no one clear answer for all the different solution capabilities.
That's right.
All right, perfect. Enjoyed it.
All right.